Good Wednesday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. I'm here. I think I'm here. We'll find out if anybody else is here in just a moment. It's a little bit past 9 o'clock, and yes, it didn't look like it was scheduled properly, but we're trying to make things happen on a Wednesday night. Some nights are like that. So let's see what's going on. It is a good night. Do want to say thanks to everyone for stopping by tonight. Dottie, good evening to you. I'm glad that you are watching tonight, trying to get the other monitor up. With the internet issues that have been trying to plague the broadcast over the course of the last couple of nights, I'm hoping that everything is going well tonight. So we'll see. We're going to see. Bear with me for just a little bit. We're getting started here. So, hey, Teresa, glad you're here tonight as well. Appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you, especially with the delayed start time. I didn't know exactly how this was going to go down, so I haven't been looking at you all. I've been looking at monitors for a little while. It looks like everything seems to be okay. Jenna McWilliams is watching tonight. Wow, special privilege. Mike, yes, Mike, man, good to see you tonight. Glad you're watching as well. We're going to talk about a few things in particular and get those things online and going. All right, you have to be honest with me. Michelle, that's exactly what I needed to know. Does it look okay? Does it sound okay? That is the big deal. So, Kathy, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate that. Good evening to you as well. Yes, Jenna, yeehaw. That is number 2, by the way, just in case you've heard me talk before about number 2. There's number 2. And she loves it so much when I call her number 2. So that is cool. Jace is watching. Wow. My oldest 2 daughters are watching tonight. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm trying to catch my breath as we got, okay, it's fireworks time. It is fireworks time. And if you're not familiar with that, hi, Jaylee Bell. Granddaddy loves you very much. If you're not familiar with that, then, okay, I lost Jenna Page. I hope that I didn't lose Jenna Page for too long. Anyway, Carmen, hey, hello. Thanks for watching tonight. Janice in the house as well. Thank you very much. Jack, what's up? All right, fireworks time is this. I was a teenager. I was telling someone a little bit earlier today that I have to go back. Man, I feel like I'm out of focus. I don't know what the deal is on that. That's a little bit better. Yeah, the focus. What just happened? Well, I'll tell you what, guys, this may or may not be my week. I don't know. Could be the color gray. I'm going to keep talking because I don't want to lose anybody. I know I'm fuzzy now. What is the deal with that? And this is like the good camera. So I don't know. I can't be fuzzy. Better now? See, I can't run my own camera and do the show. Maybe it will stay with me just a little bit. I'll tell you what, guys. It's that week. The internet is actually working as it should, and now the focus. It's that week. It is that week. Have you ever had that week? All right. Well, apparently we're dealing with that week right now. So if you can handle me being fuzzy, then for a little bit, if it sounds good, then we'll go from there. Brandy, good to see you tonight. Mrs. Patriot in the house as well. I'm going to just keep talking. How about that? Maybe my focus will come back in. Who knows? All right. Yeah, but fuzzy. And it's not the top of my head either because I shaved that this morning. So I don't know. Not better. I don't know. Sorry about that. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. I'm going to keep talking then. Fireworks time is like this. Fireworks time is you get up and you get all the fireworks out to the stands. So the 3 little ones have been getting fireworks to the stands and been helping the church, which they're working for Abundant Life Texoma right now. Now, Jayla is also working at Fireworks World for Durant High School. And so she's going to be working. She's been working already there and some other places. I've been doing fireworks, and I've had a bit of a break, a little bit of a gap in between the two, but I started doing fireworks and selling them for Abundant Life back in 1986. And so I go back a little ways, and I've done fireworks a day or two. Actually, pretty much kind of got it started over at Victory Life and helping sell fireworks there when the youth group was selling some things over there. It is podcast time. Maybe podcast time. Oh, man. Anyway, so working with the man there, I do want to talk about fireworks. It probably won't happen tonight. Probably will happen tomorrow night. We'll now that we have the internet set up, now we're having to work on the focus, and we'll see what happens from there. I'm not exactly sure what is going on with that, but it seems to be better now. I don't know. Could be. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a little bit out of focus on a general day. I want to talk this much about the election last night. I want to share a little bit of my day today, and just kind of what I got to do, and some folks I got to visit with. Had a fantastic afternoon, an absolutely fantastic afternoon. And let's see. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about some things that are going on, because it's not just fireworks that are going on this weekend. It is more, and the focus seems to be better. Well, praise God. Daryl Holiday, glad you're joining. Rana, I'm glad you're joining as well. I did get your text. You sent stuff. I came straight from church to here, and I have things going on. Robbie says, hey, coach. You know, the funny thing about Robbie saying that, too, is that I didn't get to coach Robbie. I coached Zeph, his brother, for only one season. Didn't get to coach Robbie. But anyway, that's what it is. So we'll talk about last night. We'll talk about the election just a little bit. I do want to mention one thing. We'll talk about today, and we're going to talk about the future. Past, present, future, all in one show. I know. Welcome to BCP Live. Man, if you are here for the very first time, good luck. Keep up with what's going on. If you are watching and you're still watching, then praise God for that. All right, Michelle, I feel like I look better now. I know that's not a narcissistic thing, but I feel like it looks better now. So let me know. All right, let's go to last night then. And I want to pull this back up. Congratulations to all the folks who won, to all of the winners in the election that you won. Congratulations to the once and future Sheriff Johnny Christian in winning that primary, which wound up being the election. And for the folks who won in school board elections as well, congratulations to them. All right, let's talk about this. This was the big one last night. It did not pass in Bryan County. By about a 2-1 margin, it did not pass in Bryan County. However, it did pass on the state level by a 1% margin. It was a gap of 1%, 50.5% for, 49.5% against, a difference of about 6,500 votes, give or take. And so let's look at State Question 802. Now, Jason mentioned last night, did he miss our discussion? Oh, that was 2 nights ago. Did he miss our discussion about State Question 805? State Question 805 really needs to be talked about, and we are going to talk about that here. But I felt it was important to talk about State Question 802 because that was what was on the ballot. So that's what we needed to get to then. So let me read what was voted on and what was voted through and passed in the state of Oklahoma. And as Jace talks about, I'm getting the old man glasses out, but I'm going to go ahead and do that to read this. Here we go. State question number 802. Medicaid is a government-sponsored health insurance program for qualifying low-income persons. This measure would add a provision to the Oklahoma Constitution requiring the state to expand Medicaid coverage. The expanded coverage would include certain persons over 85 and under 65 who are not already covered and whose annual income as calculated under federal law is at or below 133% of the federal poverty line. The federal poverty line changes annually. But for example, if this measure were in effect in 2019, the measure generally would have covered a single adult making less than $17,236 annually, and adults in a family of 4 making less than $35,535 annually. Under this measure, the state cannot create additional restrictions that make it more difficult to qualify for expanded Medicaid coverage than it is to qualify for the Medicaid program currently in place. The Medicaid program is funded jointly by the federal government and the state. This measure would require the Oklahoma Health Care Authority to try to maximize federal funding for Medicaid expansion in Oklahoma. If the measure is approved, the OHCA, Oklahoma Health Care Authority, has 90 days to submit all documents necessary to obtain federal approval for implementing Medicaid expansion by July 1st, 2021. So it passed in, Mike says it passed in 7 counties, failed in 70 counties, passed by total votes. And Mike, you're exactly right about that. And the counties it passed in then to have done that, to in a situation where this passed in only 9% of the total counties in the state of Oklahoma, it had to pass by a significant margin in the largest counties to do that. Okay? It can be done. And those are things that can happen. I was coaching one time. I broadcast sports, but we're not talking about that. I actually coached a while back. I was coaching high school basketball, and the girls basketball team, we were down. We got beat in the first quarter. We were outscored in the first quarter. We were outscored in the second quarter. We were outscored in the third quarter. And I'm not talking about we stayed at the same amount. I'm saying each individual quarter, we were beaten. And so that number of our deficit grew. By the time it got to the third quarter, it was a 15-point deficit. And I will never forget the timeout and the huddle that we had there. And I looked at the girls. I said, look, okay, we lost the first quarter. We lost the second quarter. We lost the third quarter. We're down by 15. All you have to do is win this fourth quarter by 16 points, and we win the game. And they looked at me like, Coach, that's the dumbest thing anyone has ever said in their lives. And I smiled at them. I said, look, just do it. Just go out and try. All you have to do, win this quarter by 16. And I'm not kidding. They got momentum. They started making baskets left and right. We played great defense. We won the fourth quarter by 21 points and wound up winning the game. It was one of the coolest experiences ever. It made me feel like a really genius coach. Like I made any shots at all in that game. I didn't do a thing. They did that. I'm just saying it's possible for that to happen, which is what Mike pointed out. It passed in 7 counties, failed in 70 counties. Now, I just want you to know what the state of Oklahoma passed. Here we go. This is what the state of Oklahoma passed. First, it was a change to the Constitution. Now it's an amendment to the Oklahoma State Constitution. It isn't just a law. We've amended the Constitution. Secondly, under this measure, the state cannot create additional restrictions that make it more difficult to qualify for expanded Medicaid coverage than it is to qualify for the Medicaid program currently in place. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Just try to keep things in order. We'll see how that's interpreted as we go along. This is what gets me, and this is where I want to know, where's Yoda in all this? Why did Yoda not step up here? Okay? This measure would require, that's a strong word, this measure would require the Oklahoma Health Care Authority to try to maximize federal funding. We've just amended the Oklahoma State Constitution with the word try. I guarantee you they're not going to try to take your tax money to do it. They'll succeed in that because this is not going to be something that can be financed without additional tax money. Well, Joey, there's money already out there. There's $1 billion on the table, federal funding, blah, 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 blah. This is going to take state money. And they won't just try to take your state money. Those taxes, after 90 days and after this goes into effect on July 1st, which is 1 year from today, today's July 1st, they're not going to try. They'll take your money. But then after that, hey, great amendment to the Constitution. And the reason I ask for Yoda is because where was Yoda? Yoda would tell you, do or do not. There is no try. But Yoda didn't write this proposition. Yoda didn't make it onto the ballot. Unfortunately, Yoda couldn't tell you there is no try. But now our amendment to the Constitution of the state of Oklahoma says the measure would require, oh, there's that strong word again, require the Oklahoma Healthcare Authority to try. Now, I want to point out to this, and I'm going to say something else again a little bit later on, because this is where I don't want to be misrepresented. I'm not telling you that I'm for or against this measure. I'm telling you that we always need to look at the wording. I don't think, and we're going to read something a little bit later on tonight, I don't know that people are as intentional with their words as they should be. We should have an intentionality. There's a nice strong word. You can use that. It's free. We should have an intentionality to the things that we do. We should also have an intentionality to the words that we use. Now, I don't think everyone around here has necessarily a firm grasp of the English language. It's probably a little bit more like a loose grip in the case of a lot of folks. And that's fine. I'm not expecting everyone to be an English scholar. And I'm not calling for that. I'm just saying that you need to know what's being said. And when somebody says something to you, then understand, what does it mean? Did they mean what they say? And are they saying what they mean? So just curious about all that. All right, let me throw this up here. Medicaid, this is from Mike. Mike's throwing out Medicaid expansion essentially makes 200,000 Oklahomans who were not eligible before eligible now. Okay, I'm excited for them, as some of them are my students. Mike, of course, works at Southeastern. It's possible to be stuck in the gap when you're working full-time for a low wage, so you can't afford health insurance, but you don't qualify for Medicaid. The change heals up that gap, and it makes it where they aren't stuck. I do understand that. And Mike, I have lived for a significant number of my years without health insurance. So I do understand that. Jason, glad you're getting in tonight. Mike says, and this is, he's pointing out here, the best part about it, it's 90% federally funded. And of course, we pay all federal tax, or we all pay federal taxes. So it's good to get some of that money back in Oklahoma. So 90% federal funding, 10%. I'm assuming at that point, Mike, and I hate to make an assumption here, where's the other 10% coming from? And this is my point in that, in just reading it. And again, and I'm going to say this for Mike, and Mike, I hope you understand. I'm not giving you my opinion for or against this particular proposition. I'm telling you that the wording is loose. And I'm always leery of amending a constitution. So, all right. That's fine. And Mike says, yes, the other 10% is state. So my statement, I believe, does hold true. The state will not try to take that additional funding. The state's going to require it. But the Oklahoma Healthcare Authority is only required to try. So there's that. Yeah. And Mrs. Patriot's right. We've been in the gap. We understand. Just wish that it were constitutional, had better wording. So anyway, does that make sense? I'm not, when we read this out on 802, and we're going to get to state question 805. I promise we're going to get state question 805. It's not going to happen tonight. I just want you to understand the intentionality of the wording. And the people who wrote this proposition were paid, I would imagine. If they weren't paid, they need to be. But if they were paid likely to write this, I just want us to be cautious when we do those things. Now, again, not for or against. Mike, you can let me know. Not for or against it. Excuse me. I am for or against it. I'm not putting out whether I'm for or against it. I'm talking about the intentionality of the wording, which is going to get to, let's talk about some intentional words right here. These are advertisers, and I appreciate the advertisers here on the BCP Live, which, by the way, they're actually advertisers for the Bryan County Patriot. All of these things, I just like reading them because I'm so thankful for all of our advertisers. And I'm grateful that they're along for the ride. By the way, Melissa, thank you for the help a little earlier tonight. Appreciate that. It's good to see you tonight. Mike, thank you very much for pointing that out. Mike's in the house. Mike Davis, I know you're in the house, so thank you for your comments tonight. Becca and Mike, another Mike. There's Mike Rawls, Mike Holmes, Mike Davis, maybe more Mikes that I don't even know about. I'm at the mic, hey, which, by the way, shows I voted. Gonna leave that up there for a little while. Jeff Shelburne, hey, I'm glad to see you tonight. One of those top fans. Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't mind disagreeing or agreeing in good faith too. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate also the fact that we can do that. You know, it's you bring up good points, and it's always good to have good points that are brought to the table and not just, name calling or something like that. So thank you for your time and watch those. We have cool sponsors, and we even have a new one today. We'll talk about that. How about the folks at Pro Image? Daryl has already stopped by tonight. I don't know if you're still here or not, Daryl, but Pro Image, one of the new businesses in town, as well as Corner Drug, Gordon Funeral Home. Was visiting with Brent a little earlier today. Man, I'm telling you what, Brent looks good. I think he's doing well, feeling well. Man, that's great. Heartbeat Realty, KFC, Shamrock Bank. Jason, 90. Can't they pull that back? Jason says 90% guaranteed by the federal government. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That's interesting. All right. But Shamrock Bank, with the cool Shamrock emojis, by the way, is one of the sponsors of the Bryan County Patriot. Thank you very much, Shamrock Bank. And Robert says me and Jamie are in the house. Thank you very much. Taco Mayo and Tim and all the guys out there at Taco Mayo. Appreciate them. Waffle Shop, also one of the sponsors of the Bryan County Patriots. And new sponsor today. Hey, listen, I appreciate Mike and Alvina Rawls from the Country Framer. And they are going to be one of the new sponsors, or are now as of today, one of the new advertisers and sponsors in the Bryan County Patriot. Look, guys, I had a chance to stop by and visit with Mark and Alvina today. I had the best time. Absolutely. I have driven by their place a number of times. Jason, love them. Absolutely love them. I've driven by their place a number of times, and I don't think I'd ever gone in to visit. And the Country Framer, which is on 4th Avenue in Durant, just south of Main Street. If you've gone across the tracks, you've gone too far. So it's right there. If you turn on 4th, if you're on Main, turn on 4th, you're driving south, and it's right there on your right. Absolutely fantastic place. I thoroughly enjoyed the visit. I know that they have been, watching the show, and I see the comments every now and again. Appreciate the things that they have submitted and talked about here on the show, and I'm really, really grateful for all of that. Great comments already tonight. Look, I could have stayed. Honestly, I probably could have stayed another 4 hours and visited. I didn't want to take up all of their business time, but I loved it. And by the way, Mike, if you're still watching, I have talked to my mother-in-law who is watching the show tonight, and I have already let her know she needs to go by there. So, she's got to get her artwork framed up. So the artwork we were talking about today, she needs to get some of that framed up. But we're going to go by again. Absolutely special place. And I just wanted to tell you all that because I know I talk about the advertisers and sponsors on the show here, and I'm so glad, and I'm so thankful. And I mean it when I say these are really good people, and we need to support one another here in the town. Just another good opportunity today. So got to visit with a number of sponsors and advertisers stopping by around town, different things. And I mean, just a smile all day long, even when I was getting hot, because somebody turned the heat up today and I was sweating like I'm sweating a little bit right now, but it was a little worse earlier today. Man, I had a blast talking with everyone. So thankful for all those people. So anyway, those are just a few of our advertisers and sponsors for the Bryan County Patriot. You guys are awesome. Ronnie Walters, who is one of those sponsors as well. You are awesome. Paula, thank you for joining tonight. And there we go. Yeah. I'm going to bring her in. Alvina says, thanks. Hey, listen, it was my pleasure. The honor was mine. I mean that. The honor was mine. And Mike says, bring her in. I will bring her. I'll make sure that I'm with her. We'll come in sometime. And playing with house money. I like playing with house money. There you go. All right. Jamie, Templeton. You are right. I've got to come by and see you. I'll try to do it won't happen this week because there's too much fireworks stuff going on. I will put that down to do next week. So hold me to it. All right. Okay, you know what? Let's post this one really quickly. Jeff Shelburne, who was on the show a little earlier this week. Jeff Shelburne, when local people support local businesses, our communities win. That should just stay up there the whole time because you're exactly right. You are exactly right. Okay, let's talk about some local businesses here then really quickly because I said I was going to talk about the past. I was talking about the present. That's today, and love the visit with Mike Malvina. Let's talk about the future here, and then let's point out one or two more things where the intentionality of words is important. Let's get to this one really quickly. Chamber of Commerce lists lots of activities that are going on. Shout out to Janet Reed and all the Chamber chicks for all the good work that they do. And don't forget, by the way, different things happening right now. Tomorrow and every Thursday this month at UE Gifts, that's on 2nd Avenue, it's the Sip and Pour, where you bring a container or you choose one of the containers there. You can pour your own custom candle, okay? And they also they have some fragrances in the candle and things like that. You also enjoy complimentary wine while you make your candle. It's $16 per ounce pour, or per 8-ounce pour. I think that's the candle. I think. Anyway, you need to check out Buddy and Stephanie. They have a good business over there at UE Gifts. Throwback Thursday at Wright's Drive-In also. All the classic cars. That is going on tomorrow night as well. And lots of fireworks are being sold too this week. So don't forget about that. But you stop by Wright's Drive-In, and I know they're really going to, they appreciate that. They have so many cool cars here in town. They're going to do another, well, I think they were only going to drag main, but the whole beer bug thing kicked into play. So they didn't get to do the dragging main going up. That is also this week. Let's talk about a couple more things this week. July 3rd, which is Friday, Lake Texoma Association, 4th of July, open house, and fireworks display. And the time is 6 to 9 p.m. The fireworks display is going to be at Roosevelt Bridge. That is Friday. The open house is at Lake Texoma Association office at 11934 State Park Road in Kingston from 6 to 9 before the show. All right. So lots of things. I think they're going to be selling hot dogs, and there'll be an ice cream truck and a bounce house and stuff like that. All right. July 4th. By the way, that's a Brady's Stockpile fireworks event at the Lake Texoma Association. Then the next night is July 4th. That's Saturday. Another Brady's Stockpile fireworks event at the Choctaw Casino Resort. So that's in Durant. One of them's in Kingston or the Kingston area right there by the lake. The other one's in Durant or South Durant where the Choctaw Casino is. All right. Durant Riding Club Playday series is also going to be going on. So if you're part of the Durant Riding Club Playday, they will be having the Playday on Durant 4th. Okay. Oh, breaking news on the show. Breaking news right here on the show. Let's go ahead and throw that up just because I love saying throw things up. Breaking news. J.C. Shelburne just told me the entire Oklahoma State FFA officer team is excited to schedule coming on the show. Woohoo! We get the Oklahoma State FFA officer team on BCP Live. My goodness. Does it get much better than that? I don't know. Breaking news. You heard it first right here on BCP Live. All right. This is where it's going to take me just a bit because I was having all kinds of issues trying to go live tonight. I got here late because of church and fireworks and kids, and you've already heard all that stuff too. So I'm going to see if I can find one of two things that we need to talk about. So let's see if it will come up. Do you hear all that clicking? I type loudly. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. Mrs. Patriot is just, she gets really, really wound up at the way I type loudly. She said, talk angrily, or I type angrily. That's what I do. Okay, so let's bring this up here. Lots of folks being active tonight with the reactions. Thank you. Butch, thank you for joining tonight. And you ran a good race, sir. You ran a good race. Appreciate that. Brooke, also in the house. Hey, Brooke, Hope you're doing well. Hope you and your entire family had a good week last week. All right, so let's see if this will come up here. Is this the one? Is this the one? This is the one. Okay, this is from the Durant City Pool Facebook page. I don't know if you've heard this already. I have not posted this yet on the Bryan County Patriot. I will a little bit later on. I'm going to post this. I literally will copy and paste. I'm going to take this word for word with a little bit of an intro, copy and paste this. I'm not going to take any of the words. I'm not even going to adjust anything for possible grammatical errors. I'm going to copy this word for word, just letting you know. And by the way, I think that's important. When you quote somebody, can I give you can we take a sidetrack for just a moment and do just a little bit of journalism right here? When you quote somebody, it's important to quote them directly. It is important to quote them word for word. He or she, whatever he or she said, it's important to quote that person word for word. However, if somebody makes a simple grammatical error, there will be times I will make that adjustment. If somebody was in a hurry and that somebody said, well, we was going to town. Well, obviously subject verb agreement says we were going to town. I might write down we were going to town. No big deal. Just saying. There's no harm, no foul in that. I'm not going to do that on this one because I want to leave it as it is. So let's go back and look at what it says here, and let's talk about intentionality of words. Due to a positive COVID-19 test result of an employee of the city of Durant, the city of an employee, the city of Durant has closed the Durant Municipal Swimming Pool located at Carl Albert Park indefinitely. No questions concerning this incident may be answered via social media. If you had a party scheduled, a member of the pool staff will if you had a party scheduled, a member of the pool staff will contact you regarding the scheduled party. There will be no refunds for swim lessons conducted this week. Future scheduled swim lessons will be refunded if the lessons cannot be given due to the closure of the facility. Season pass refunds may be considered in the future. All right. So basically what we have here is they're not answering any questions over social media. Well, good. If you followed local social media in this area, anytime you put something out there, it's going to be attacked, just attacked. Okay? So again, it's one of those things you can put out there that the sun's going to rise. If President Trump said the sun's going to rise in the east, automatically people are going to get wound up and offended by that. But you can say the sun's going to rise in the east and somebody's going to be mad about that and attack you on social media. So I have no problem with that. This is the word I like. And so let's go back and let's see. Due to a positive beer bug test result of an employee, the city of Durant has closed the Durant Municipal Swimming Pool located at Carl Albert Park indefinitely. And you know what? That's not bad. And if that word was used intentionally, then I commend the city of Durant for the use of that word. Because they can take that and they can decide that they want to either open things back up or shut them down for the rest of the summer. It does not mean that the pool is shut down for the rest of the summer. The word indefinite means indefinite. It's not a finite amount. It's not a definite amount. We're not saying how long or how short this is going to be. We're shutting it down indefinitely, and we reserve the right to open it back up when we open it back up. So if that word was used intentionally and there was an intentionality to it, then I commend the city of Durant for that and for doing that. And I'm not going to say that the city of Durant made a good or a bad decision about this. I think that it would be sad for a lot of these teenagers that have worked hard and been trained, and for them to lose this summer job that they've prepared for. I think that would be a sad thing. I'm not saying that this is a good or a bad decision by the city of Durant. I think it is a little bit sad because we do know that sunlight does kill the virus. And so that's one of those things. And the kids are they're not bound to be inside just because they're not at the city pool any longer. They can go outside in the sunlight too. But I'm not saying whether it's a good or a bad decision by the city of Durant. And I do, however, commend them on that word if it was used intentionally. Could that have been any more vague? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's look at one more place here. And the computer shut down on me a while ago. I had this pulled up, so I'm going to see if it will come back up right now. I don't know if it will. We're gonna try. We're going to try to see if this one will come back up. All right. Here's another thing about journalism. And we're going to wrap it up with this point. And I want it to, again, point it out to you. I'm not saying I'm for or against this. I know that for the most part that the beer bug, most of the people who will deal with this will not die. As a matter of fact, beyond the vast majority, the fatality rate is very small, but it does exist. And so I don't want to in any way diminish what some people are going through right now who may be in hospitals, who are dealing with this, who have dealt with and have comorbidities and are dealing with the situation. So I'm not downplaying that right now. I'm having computer problems again. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I'm not. I'm just trying to get the computer to come back up. Had me really concerned there for a moment. So with that having been said, here's another journalism lesson. Most of the time, the person who writes a story, the reporter who writes a story and does all the work to get it done, turns it in to be edited. It should be edited. Okay. If the reporter is just doing all his work, submitting it in, and then turning it in with nobody editing his work or looking over what he's done, then you're putting the reporter out there to make hideous amounts of mistakes, and you don't have his or her back. So you need somebody to edit it and take care of that in a larger organization than, say, what the Bryan County Patriot is, because, well, it's not a big staff. But if you have a big paper and you can do that, then you need to be able to do that, okay? But the point I'm trying to make is most of them don't write their own headlines. Reporters generally don't write their own headlines. That's to the editor and the people who are higher up the ladder, and they will write headlines that will get the attention of the people who are to read the story. A headline's important. You go by the newspaper rack, even at Walmart right now, or wherever you go by the newspaper rack, the first things you're going to see is those big black words, those big bold words. And are you wanting to buy that paper or not? Well, what's the headline say? Above the fold. It's important. And they know the proper words to use to get your attention. So I'm not going to blame someone who's written the article about what the headline says. But the headlines are written with an intentionality of words. So let's see what we have here, and let's see if we can pull this up on the screen here, and boom. Boom goes the dynamite, right? And let's see. Where did it go? Don't tell me that. No. Get off there. There's an ad. All right, back to the headline. Here we go. 97% of ICU beds at Texas Medical Center. This is from a Houston television station. Okay. Actually, the article is from the Tribune there. 97% of ICU beds at Texas Medical Center now occupied as COVID-19 cases reach record highs. 97% ICU beds, COVID-19 cases. Okay? So what do you think? 97% of the ICU beds are taken up because COVID-19 cases are reaching record highs? Now, I just want to ask you, if you're watching tonight, and a few people still are, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. What is the proper question to ask then about this headline? I'm gonna leave that there for a little bit. See if anybody. This is the school teacher in me here. You know, I've taught school before. Actually, you know, I broadcast sports too. And here we go. Give it just a second longer. See if anyone wants to give it a shot. Sean, glad you joined tonight. Amy in the house. Appreciate that. All right. Okay. And this monitor is about to run out of battery. That's okay. Here we go. What is the proper question to ask there? Let's read it again. Who is really in those beds? Thank you, Dottie. You know, I would imagine you might know someone who is a journalist. I think you probably did. How many beds are taken by COVID patients? Thank you very much. Those are the questions to ask. So if you're reading this, if you just read it face value, 97% ICU beds now occupied as COVID-19 cases reach record highs. You're exactly right. Let's read down here. First paragraph, here's your lead. Number of patients hospitalized with the coronavirus has reached record highs 12 days in a row. At the Texas Medical Center, 97% of ICU beds were occupied on Tuesday. 27% of those ICU patients have COVID-19. I didn't have that up there for you. There it is. Let me read it again. 97% of ICU beds were occupied on Tuesday. 27% of those ICU patients have COVID-19. And there you go. It's all fear. It's all about the sensationalism. It's all about that to get you to buy that paper, which that's fine. It's their business. I am not demeaning the plight of either the 27% who are in ICU beds with COVID-19 or the 73% who are in the ICU beds who are dealing with something else life-threatening. I'm not downplaying any one of those. Not one, not even one. I want all those people to be well. Don't know what's going to happen. I'm just telling you, we're not downplaying the situation. What we're talking about now is the intentionality of words. And let's bring it all to a head here as we wrap up our time, because I've gone more than 40 minutes and I'm grateful for all of your time tonight. So let's wrap it up. Jason says, and you're exactly right, Jason. Every time one person gets a positive test, it's now a record high. We keep moving the number. Everything's high. Nothing new. Hospitals try to stay at 91 to 97% capacity all the time. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Interesting. Here we go. Let's bring it all to a head, and we'll get back to where we started tonight. The intentionality of words. Was it an intentional thing to talk about COVID-19 in the headline along with the word 97%? Absolutely, it was intentional. Is it a lie? No. Everything that was there is the truth. Was it somewhat deceptive? Oh, yes. It was deceptive, but it was intentional. And we have to go in with the people who are saying things intentionally. There are lots of people who are on local social media. And I know I hammer local social media a lot, and I'm actually on local social media, and I am the media. So, but I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube right now. This stuff happens. I don't think there's an intentionality of words lots of times. I don't. But there are people who are in the business of using words that mean things. All words should be meaning things. Do people understand what they say lots of times? I don't think so, but these people do. There was an intentionality of words in that headline. And it got my attention. Now, I figured that was the case, and I had to read down to find it. And by the way, let me commend this writer here. This is from the Texas Tribune. The author was Michelle Homer, also authored by Sarah Champagne and Shannon Najmabadi. Okay? Commend all of them because they put it in the second paragraph. They did not put it in the ninth one. They put it in the second paragraph that was there, and I commend them for that. And I don't think either of those three authors actually wrote the headline. Again, I think that was the editor. Generally, it's the editor's place to do that. And I'm sure Dottie could probably back me up on that or tell me I'm wrong. Dottie, back me up. Anyway, no, whatever the case may be. Ron is right. You can make numbers say whatever you want them to say. There was an intentionality of words there. Let's go back to another thing we mentioned. The pool is closed. indefinitely. Was there intentionality of words used there? I want to give the city of Durant the benefit of the doubt and say yes, because it gives them the option to open things back up without having to look bad in opening back up. If they choose to keep it closed for longer or even the remainder of the summer, it is there. It's their option to do that. That's a decision that's made by the city of Durant, city manager and mayor and all those people too. That's fine. So if there was intentionality to those words, then I commend them for that. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt again and say yes. Let's go back to the amendment that was voted on yesterday. Was there an intentionality of words put there? I'm going to say yes, and I'll tell you why. Those people in Oklahoma City, just like the people in Austin, just like the people in Jefferson City, just like the people in Topeka, just like the people in Little Rock, and just like the people in Washington, D.C., know what they're doing. Now, they have staffs to help them know what they're doing. Some of these people I'm a little questionable about that. I'm not sure. But they're behind the scenes. There are a lot of people who know what they're doing. They know how to write these laws. I believe this was put in intentionally with the word try. They don't have to succeed. They will succeed in taking your money. They don't have to succeed in getting that through. And our Constitution has been amended now with something that would make Yoda sad. Just think about that for a little bit. All right. And that's what you need to take away from BCP Live tonight. We've amended the Oklahoma State Constitution in a way that would make Yoda sad. Please be sure to tell your friends and neighbors tonight, tomorrow, that you heard that right here on BCP Live. Oh, my goodness, it's been a day. And you know what? Tomorrow will be a long one as well. Kids are getting up. They are working shifts with fireworks. Listen, if you want to talk about and you want to promote a place that is selling fireworks, please go ahead and let me know in the comments tomorrow if you bought fireworks or you're selling, or your family or something like that. We'll put that in the comments tomorrow. My family is selling with Abundant Life Texoma and also with the Durant High School Band. So I encourage you to go out and support those organizations. I know that they're good organizations, and I definitely wanted to put my support behind them, and I'm going to put some dollars behind them as well. So there, and I'm letting my kids go out. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Long day tomorrow, so I'm going to get some rest. You all get some rest too. Mike and Alvina, again, thank you so much for the visit today, and I appreciate new advertisers here on Bryan County Patriot. I'm excited about all that. We have a lot of great advertisers here, including and not limited to folks whose names I can still see in the comment section, and Rana and Jason. Ronald, I'm glad you made it. It was a little bit late tonight. I don't care. I'm glad you're here, man. That is fine. And I know that Dottie has my back, so I appreciate that a lot. A little bit of a late start tomorrow. We'll try to get it together, or tonight we'll try to get it together for tomorrow and have lots more fun. Stephen Shane, man, good to see your name come up there. Night to you as well. Thanks, Teresa. And if Robbie's still listening, thanks. Appreciate that. It was a good night last night. And Robbie and Melinda did a great job, so I was glad to have them on there. Okay. We're going to wrap it up. You know what you need to do. You do know what you need to do, right? You need to use wisdom. Be wise. Be wise. And I'm telling you, wisdom comes from God. Solomon was the wisest man to have ever lived other than Jesus. Solomon was wisest man to ever have lived. And he asked for wisdom. He didn't ask for strength. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for his enemies to be killed. He asked for wisdom. God made him wise, and you can be wise. Just ask for wisdom. That's all right. Secondly, use discretion. The decisions that are up to you to make good ones. Go ahead and do that. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to make a decision. And finally, to stay up with that, do not walk in fear. We all know numbers can be said to whatever to be made to look like, whatever they want them to be made to look like. We do know, by the way, that there is a virus out there. None of us wants it. We don't want anyone that we love who might have a comorbidity or whatever to get it. So let's be wise in what we do, but don't walk in fear. Never walk in fear. Use respect. Have respect for the oncoming traffic. Have respect for the snake. Have respect for the yellow jack. Whatever it is, I have a lot more respect today for the fire ants because, and praise God, I'm being healed. I'm doing a lot better than I was last week. But have respect, but don't walk in fear. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to get through all this together. All right. You guys have a good night. I will see you tomorrow, and I appreciate you. You all are a blessing. We'll do this again tomorrow night. Be ready. Fireworks time. It is upon us.